Welcome, Prime Nation. We are here for another episode of Prime People. And today I am very, very excited. This one may change your life. You may be inspired in a few different ways because we have our good friend, Glennda Baker, on the podcast. And this video is for anybody that is looking to understand the digital landscape in a few different ways. Yes, everybody wants to know how to go viral on TikTok. She gets asked that question over and over. It's like she just launched a movie and she's going down the line of people. So we're going to dig in even deeper with her, get very practical and tactical into how she still manages to be a top producing agent and have the presence she has online. I also want to know what she's excited about in the future. She's always thinking and ideating, but more than that, she is an absolute expert at her craft. Glennda is one of the most highly educated people when it comes to real estate expertise, negotiations, and doing the actual job. And I think there's a lot of misconceptions in the industry in terms of how people put themselves forth online versus how they're actually doing the job. And Glennda is literally somebody that does both exceptionally well. I've had the pleasure of spending, I think, hundreds of hours with her on this point on Clubhouse. She's definitely had a big impact on me, the Prime Nation, the way that we do our content, and how we're going to be doing it in the future. She does. Oh, there you go. Sorry, Jeanette Dale Himmler said she binge watched her content yesterday. That's awesome. Levi jumped on the stream and says, let's go. Nice shirt. I wore this shirt because I got to just have a little bit more shine to keep up with Glennda. Her Glitterati's are very special people. So I want to introduce her Glitterati's to the Prime Nation. So before we get into it, I'm just going to run the intro real quick. We ask that you go follow Glennda. You hit subscribe so you don't miss any more amazing guests like this. And we'll be back with her in a moment. Welcome to the Prime People podcast, where we cover all things that got us to where we are today, our team building strategies, the marketing and sales tips that we've learned through thousands of transactions, productivity tips, ways to really just hold yourself accountable to accomplishing what you want to accomplish, and all things content creation, personal development, and not to mention we have some of the best guests on the planet. And we definitely have one of the best guests on the planet, Glennda Baker. Welcome to the stream.
Hey, Justin, how's it going?
I am doing exceptionally well, given that we get to do this and chop it up. I know you're just coming from a listing. How did that one go?
So I had two listing appointments this morning, one at 10 and one at 1, and I feel like I got them both. And they're amazing houses. I mean, the first one, my mouth was watering. It was so beautiful. And it's just so amazing to get the opportunity to sit at the table because people have so many choices. So the fact that I even got the invitation just makes me feel so honored.
And I think one reason why I've gravitated towards our conversations, and we always go back and forth, we could literally do that for days, it seems sometimes, is your passion for the industry. So I think a lot of people get it twisted. A lot of people get into real estate. They want to build a team, delegate, never actually do the sale part or the transaction part. But I do synergize with you in that I love my job. And I think people may think we're a little bit crazy. So why do you love real estate so much? I'm so curious.
Well, I'm just honored that people work with me with what is usually their single largest asset. And on top of that, people do life in the homes that we sell. This is where they're probably going to spend the most time, and they're going to raise their families, the milestones of their life. The homes that we sell will be the backdrop. So for me, it's just such an honor to be included in people's lives. And I love that.
And it's funny. I think sometimes experts like you can even take it for granted that you've developed the skill set that you do. And you realize when you see what's out there in the marketplace sometimes and what types of agents are in this business, you almost hold that to a higher regard, right? Like I do know you honor your clients very, very highly. And you talk about being an expert. Right. And before we even get into all the viral, the TikTok stuff, because I know everybody wants to know that. That's always the first question. My first question is the expertise part about being an amazing agent. What do you think it is that's missing in this culture where everybody's chasing the clout and the followers and the likes that agents are missing in terms of being the actual expert when it comes to real estate?
It's the basics. It's the foundation. It's the work ethic. Seriously, let's think about it. It doesn't cost you any money to know the data. It doesn't cost you any money to know what every home sells for. It doesn't cost you any money to know the community. It doesn't cost you any money to keep up with the real estate trends. It just costs you time. And if you're not willing to invest in your craft, if you're not willing to invest in your expertise, if you're not willing to invest in growing your mind and your knowledge, then to me, you're giving part-time effort to a full-time job. And to me, that's just that's not an option.
And I love what she said there. So everybody that is putting time in this episode and is here, and we've got Yara here, who you know as well. We've got Matt LaMarche, who I am so sorry about. He was actually going to be the guest on Prime People today, but I totally missed his text message, and I figured he got busy. So Matt is going to be our guest next week. I'd ask everybody watching to share this out because Glennda is giving us her time, and I want everybody to know who she is because her voice and her impact on the community is transcending just her time here. And I've said this to her before. I do think, the legacy that you're leaving by just giving away all your secrets and that little nugget you just dropped is going to have a butterfly effect throughout the real estate community and end up being bigger than just you or I, or even our time here. There will be years past when people will be like, Glennda Baker, she did this and that led to me doing this. What are you excited about when it comes to the future of what you're doing? So you're an expert at real estate, marketing like nobody's business. What excites you about the future of this world that we're going into?
Well, I would probably say what's most exciting to me right now is being able to pour into younger agents, newer agents, mentor those agents, and really just level up our industry. I think that there is so much room for improvement across the board. And if I can have any impact in helping younger agents, newer agents, even experienced agents level up their game and provide a better experience for the consumer, I think that that's where online companies really took advantage of us because they saw that gap in the marketplace and they came in to fill it. And the thing about it is that there isn't an online company in existence that can take the place of the genuine knowledge, expertise, and feet on the ground of a valuable, experienced real estate agent. So I think that there's so much opportunity for us to take the space back, especially today, because people want to do business with people, not with a hit it and click it cubicle in Iowa.
I love the way you frame that. And it's very true because a lot of the third-party applications for the consumers that are watching, that means those sites that you're just searching for real estate on are ultimately just itemizing and putting a number on a spreadsheet of those people and selling them off as leads back to the industry. It's a very interesting dynamic because the industry is the one that provides the data feed. The marketing companies take the data feed, give it to the consumers in a nicer UI that nobody's going to compete with because it costs hundreds of thousands of dollars to build these platforms and then market them. But what you're talking about is those companies not even being able to be on the same planet as somebody like yourself or even myself when I'm looking at the value that we're bringing the consumer. So much so that I encourage my clients to use the third-party apps. I'm like, yeah, go ahead, use it. Like, it's a sweet platform. We're ready to pull the trigger. Call me. I know that's counterintuitive to agents, but I know you get it. What is the reasoning behind that concept?
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing is I want that online platform to be utilized as a search engine because the way that they have been able to optimize search for real estate is insane to me. I absolutely I even search there. So I love the search capabilities. But when it comes to on-site real estate, it's a real estate agent that can tell you the value of a master bedroom on the main, not some algorithm, not some hit it and click it real estate agent that doesn't have an investment in you. They have an investment in that online company. So that's why I always say, when you want to search on the platform, but when you're ready and you're looking for expert knowledge, that can't be substituted with anybody except me.
I love it. I always say that you can't scale people, right? You can scale technology, right? You can do what they're doing from the standpoint of getting more eyeballs and use old school sales tactics and same stuff you'd see at used car dealerships to put people down a funnel. But people want to be valued these days. And I think that's, again, transcending into your content. you do a great job of being yourself in your content. And I really, above and beyond, can tell you that that's why you have the following that you have. And I think why people connect with you is the bumps, the bruises, the good, the bad, the ugly. You share it all, your personality, you're thoughtful on the different platforms that you post on. So let's dig into that a little bit. Matt says, because he's so sweet, I'd always give the spotlight to Glennda. You are very kind, Matt LaMarche. Matt's a great dude, a great example of the community that we've built of people that are all over the planet. I mean, sharing, collaborating, and giving their best to create a better community. But let's talk TikTok. I'm going to get in, I'm going to get out on this topic because I know you get asked a lot of questions, but I'm sure the Prime Nation wants to know, for context, Glennda's got over 30 million views. She did something very smart too. She hashtagged Glennda Baker on TikTok so she can click on it at any point in time and see how many views she has. Super, super thoughtful and smart. Just walk us high level through that journey and kind of how you got to that point.
Well, I started getting intentional about video in 2020. I decided I was going to really move into that. And then the pandemic hit. And I was so thankful that I had not hired this very expensive videographer. And then, I got down to August when I decided everybody wasn't going to die, and re-engaged with that videographer, Denver, and sat down with him and came up with a format that I felt like that I could leverage. So it wasn't just about me talking to the camera. It wasn't about me. It was about my experience and my experience with real estate. And we did it in an interview style. And I think that consumer really grabbed onto that because they felt like that they were a fly on the wall. They felt like that they were overhearing a conversation between me and a buyer, me and a seller, me and a consumer, and they wanted to grab onto that. And I think that that's what really made my content stick, was the fact that it was real. It was about real life situations, and it was behind the scenes. They felt like they were getting a glimpse into the real world of real estate. And that's what I hear over and over again. And it has really compelled a lot of great conversations with my audience. And it has really made them very loyal to me. So I feel just super blessed.
The Glitterati's, tell us a little bit about them.
The Glitterati's, it is amazing. I will tell you, if anybody throws shade in the comments to me, I don't even have to respond, because the Glitterati's jump in and they're like, that's not what she said. That's not what she meant. Aren't you listening? Didn't you see that video? Didn't you see this video? She talks about that in depth. And it's so awesome, because what is happening is that people are watching over and over and over different videos. And it's hilarious to get these DMs that are like, I binge watched you all Saturday night. I binge watched you all day on Sunday. You are my real estate for Sunday. And it's just, it's hilarious. It's flattering. It's honoring. But to me, I'm so excited that people are excited about real estate. For me, that's what I love.
Yeah, and you do it in a very direct way. So everybody can go to the platforms, go to your Instagrams, go to your TikToks at Glennda Baker with 2 N's, and see that there's that consistency of content. And also you can binge watch. There was somebody in the chat when you said that, I highlighted it because it was like, literally, this is coming true in front of our eyes. And even before I knew you, when we came across each other on the Clubhouse stage, the first couple of times, I always look into people. Right. And I take a look at what their content, I hear what they're saying, and I check out if they're real or not. And then I'll look at other people in the community and ask them, is this person solid? Do you know anything about them? Not because I'm coming from a place of trying to tear anybody down, but if I'm going to support somebody and put my name behind them, I want to make sure they're the real deal. And more than anything, when I was writing my notes for this episode, I just wrote at the very top, she's a practitioner. She's somebody that's actually with her fingers posting the videos and writing the captions. And I think that's something people miss. Going deeper than how do you get 30 million views, I'm going to pull that out of you right now. And I want you to explain to people why you actually control the actual posting yourself. Because I think everybody in this business is like, I want somebody who's going to shoot my videos, write my captions, post it for me online. I don't want to do anything. I just want to pay somebody to do it. Why does your system work better than that system?
I would say because it's my voice. Like it is like not only I know the intent behind the video. Like in my head, I know what I was thinking when I shot that video. I know where I wanted it to land. And if I have that done for you experience, then the consumer doesn't really understand like what was my vantage point? What was my thought process when I was coming up with the video? So that's why it's critical to me to do the captions, to do the hashtags, and to answer in the comments, because I want people to know that I am the real deal, that you are seeing me. And that's what I hear over and over. Like, is this the real Glennda? Like, is this really Glennda responding? And I love that because I love being a little cheeky. I love being a little bit sassy back. You know, when somebody goes, you are so ridiculous. And I'm like, that is Miss Ridiculous Karen to you. You know, I mean, I love being a little bit cheeky with them, but the glitterati's, man, they bounce back. It's hilarious. I love it.
You're probably excited to respond sometimes, and you go in, you're like, I can't even respond because the glitterati's already got to it. But I think the banter is funny, right? When I started getting trolled online, I'm the same way. I troll bots. So on my IG, when the crypto thing was going crazy and bots where I was like, hey, invest with Forex. And what I started doing was trolling those comments about how, well, if you invested in real estate, you'd make this much more money. I picked up business from it because other people that watched me comment would message me and DM me and snapshot those trolls and those comments of me interacting, coming from a place of humor and good-natured fun, and create the connection, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's all good-natured. Even when somebody has been like, you know, very ugly, if I comment back to them, you know, cheeky, a little bit bantery back, then if they keep it up, I just block them. Because, you know, that's the great thing about social media. You can block, mute, you know, delete. And I'm like, absolutely, all day. I don't think twice about it.
So you touched on a topic I wasn't even going to get into, but it's funny. I have a story for you. So I sold this house during COVID and literally put it on the market, sold it the first day. 2 days later, COVID happens. It was a conditional offer, conditional on the sale of another house. 4 months go by. Everything's in limbo. This other house doesn't sell. Nobody's buying anything because they're waiting to see, is the world going to collapse, right? Long story short, COVID happens. You know, people understand the market's starting to go crazy. This other house finally sells. So I post a story. And the story is essentially, this house sold in 1 day. 4 months later, watch the next stories to understand why. And I gave the context to it. I get a message in my DM from an agent that is literally a snapshot of that sent to somebody else, but they sent it to me by accident saying, can you believe this? I just showed this house. Does he just make this SHIT up? And I was like, oh, wow. Okay. So yeah, I was like, how do I respond to this? Right. So I responded out of grace and I said, hey, like, I get it, but kind of a random thing to send to me, or if you meant to send it to somebody else, like, you can call me next time. We can talk about it. You know, I tried to extend grace and just go from there. But I think that conversation actually led to an in-depth conversation with that agent. And she said, you know what? She told me it was about another agent, which whether or not that's true, who knows? But I said to her, if it is about another agent, unfollow the other agent. I told her I unfollow people that I find myself following and feeling not so great about myself about. But I think people miss the mark. They sit online and they're scrolling and they're hating on people and bringing negativity into their life. What would you tell somebody that is so scared about other people's opinions or so focused on what other people are doing that they're not succeeding themselves? What advice would you give that person? Because I know you'd have some good perspective there.
You know, isn't it interesting that of all of the amazing comments you will get, the one that you will focus on is the one that's negative? I mean, why is that? Like, why are we so conditioned to focus on the negative? You know what? It's so funny. You won't believe this, but I remember I was dating this guy and, you know, he's like professing his love for me. And I looked at him and I'm like, yeah, like, what's not to love? And he's like, seriously, like, that's your response? And, you know, for me, I just always think about like, let's look for what we love in other people. And like, why would you not love me? Like, it's not like I'm like, you know, spreading hate. It's not like I'm being mean. Like what's not to love? So, you know, I mean, I just think that when you get that mean comment, you need to go back to yourself and just say, what's not to love about me? Like, everybody should love me, and focus on the people that are actually loving on you. Spend your time in that space. not the space on the people that are hating on you. I just literally, I don't even worry about it. It just totally cracks me up. I don't even think twice.
People that I respect, I mean, mentors, people that are doing things at a high level, practitioners, always have the same answer. They're too busy like bringing positivity to other people's lives or their own lives, or breaking the pattern, because crabs in a bucket want to pull you into the mud. But when you don't even give them the time of day, or you give them that grace, you give them that love, it's very freeing. So compare it to this, right? You honk at somebody in traffic, or somebody honks at you in traffic, and you respond negatively. Now you're thinking about that for the rest of the day, doing the George Costanza thing, running through, I should have said this, or I should have done this, versus, yo, I'm so sorry about that. Have a wonderful day. Like roses and sunshine. Then you end up in a better spot, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing about it is that, as I said, I always look for what I love in people, even the people that are, maybe a little bit salty. And for me, I just feel like, let's just think that there's something else behind that comment, not me. There's something else going on that I'm not privy to. And let's just extend that grace, and let's just keep moving. Because if you just keep moving forward and not looking back, that it just gets further and further away. I'm just looking towards the future and who I can help, who I can pour into, and who wants to be around me. Flavor
in life. Let's talk about that, right? People that are characters that some other people have a hard time dealing with. I have a feeling you like characters, people that can be salty, people that can have flavor, that may come off a certain way. How do you see the best in people when sometimes other people may struggle or say, oh, he's this way, I could never deal with that person? Because I know there's people in my life that I genuinely have affection for, that are almost caricatures of themselves, like are so much what the public sees them as, but everybody else can't deal with them when necessarily you can see better in people, right?
Yeah, but I think that comes with maturity. I think that when you are comfortable with yourself, you don't really get so whacked out with those people that maybe rub other people the wrong way. And in fact, I'm almost drawn to them more because I want to figure out like why does that person rub everybody the wrong way? Like what is the underlying deal with them? And it's almost like a puzzle to me. So those people, and it's, I don't know, what do they say? You attract what you project. Maybe that's why they love me, because I am that crazy person. But I mean, really, in all honesty, I look for what I love in every single person that I meet. And it doesn't matter to me what walk of life, it doesn't matter. There isn't anything or any person that I meet that I am immediately turned off by. Like I literally look for that wonderful in everybody. Sure. And if you prove to me that you have nothing wonderful, it's no problem. I just walk around you. You can either work with me or I'll work around you. It's your choice.
Yeah, as Giselle likes to say, a lot of times the haters are just very confused admirers, and they're hating on people because they're doing the things they want to do. That's the reality of it, right? But one of my favorite comments, I think by far, that I've heard on the platform.
I love it.
I do have a couple more questions for the social side of things, right? I like to keep it practical and tactical. So if you're going to give people just a couple high-level tips, and then we'll move on from the social, how does an app like TikTok work? Like, can you explain why you think you get the traction you get on that platform? Is it the consistency of posting? Is it the time? Is it the content? Is it a mixture? Like, what are a couple quick tips you can give some people?
I think it's the consistency. Absolutely. I think that it's the format. And I think that it's my delivery. I think that people relate to me because I'm not perfect and I'm not trying to be perfect. So I think that people really, when they see me and they say, oh my gosh, she said a bad word, or her hair's a wreck, or she didn't put on any makeup. Like, I think that they see that realness and that attracts them, and they trust it. And they see me like I'm just one of them. And so I think that I'm relatable. I think that my delivery style is very good for most people. And I think that being consistent across the platforms has really been, the glue that has held all of it together. And I wasn't really consistent until April the 14th. So think through that. I was posting randomly from October to April. Wow. I got better in February, Okay, so October to February. So February 6th, I started becoming more intentional and posting more regularly. But it wasn't until April 14th that I became daily consistent across the platforms. And that was really the glue that held everything together.
And that's fascinating too, because again, being inspired by people like you, like the reels I've been doing and the TikToks I've been doing, I've told you this before and I said it on the platform. You re-inspired me to do video and not be precious about it, right? I'm actually batch shooting tomorrow. We're at a listing video and I'm like, Thursday is normally my batch shoot day, but I couldn't do it today. So I told my videographer, we're batch shooting tomorrow. Like we're banging out 10 because I'm not stopping, even though I'm only getting 100 on TikTok or 200 on TikTok. Now I'm getting better results from Instagram currently, but I know if I do this and I commit to it for 6 months and I just keep showing up and I just keep showing up, the app is going to turn around and be like, oh, he's not stopping. Right. And you've had content that I know you didn't even think was going to pop. And then I was in the room with you. You're like, hey, this one just hit 2 million. So walk me through that real quick.
I mean, I don't even like I'll post it. And for me, it's my life. It's real life to me. So like, why would 2 million people want to watch it? Or the 80s house. Like I've gotten more comments about the 80s house video. And I'm like, 700,000 people want to watch me talk about houses built in the 80s. And it's just like, you never, ever know what's going to pop. But the thing about it is that the fact that you're not going away, I think that the platform recognizes that and they appreciate it. Mm-hmm. And I think that the more consistent you are in the same format, I mean, think about it. If you're watching a show, you're because you like the way that it's laid out. They don't change the way the basketball game goes to see if they can get more people. The basketball game is the basketball game. It's the same format, the same ball, the same net. The only thing that changes are the players. Mm. So for me, that's what I want to do. I want to be consistent. I want to be consistent across all the platforms. I change the way that I package for the different platforms just because I think that and I may be completely wrong because I've been posting a few of my TikToks on LinkedIn and they seem to be doing okay. Maybe those people on LinkedIn that are all so uptight that I've been so worried about, maybe they need somebody who's letting their hair down a little bit. So we're mixing it in and Grace is following across all of the platforms how different videos are doing and how people are responding in hearts and comments and shares. Because for me, the engagement, not the views as much as the engagement is what's important.
Man, you are a hybrid. So many people chase social to chase social. You understand it from a business perspective. You actually are looking at it as, no, this is a business. This is just like me putting out print media or being on radio 50 years ago. This is turning into actual business. Before I get to that, Julie Mozena, our girl, also said, what does consistency look like daily? Daily makes sense to you, Glennda?
So on TikTok, it's daily. On Instagram, it's multiple times a day. Mm-hmm. And this is really interesting. And I want you to take a note from this playbook. So I haven't posted as consistently in my tiles. So the posts, I haven't posted as consistently there. I've been very consistent with my stories. But my story engagement is down 37% since I have not been posting in my tiles.
Interesting.
So, and the tiles to me are the most boring space on Instagram. But that seems to have like Tub Tuesday, Wine Wednesday, Media Room Monday, Fireplace Friday. Those really draw the people in. So that goes to show you, I want to A/B test to see like, where is the traffic coming from? What are they engaging with? And I think that you've got to constantly be testing because I'm not doing this for my ego. I have enough people that like me. I don't need any more friends. I'm doing this to get business. Yeah. And if it's not getting business, I don't need to waste my time there.
You're not precious about it. It's the same thing about what we do, right? I've had these questions asked me directly, like, why do you even do video? The market's amazing. I'm like, it's more important for me to do video now to set myself apart than just putting up a sign and saying the market's setting the price. Going back to third-party apps, people aren't going to need us. If I'm not building a database of information and every listing video I have is creating a larger database for my future sellers, the tech companies will be able to beat me. But as of right now, they can't because they don't have the track record of doing what I've done and the relationships that are already in place. And I think a lot of people get it twisted and they think, well, you're just doing all this stuff on social to grow the social side of the business. Maybe she's going to turn that into another income source, which it will be, I'm sure. But you've actually converted legit business out of it. How much business have you gotten this year? You've told me this many times before. I know the number, but my Prime Nation needs to hear this.
We're up to $168,000 in GCI.
There you go.
Yeah. So, I mean, hello, like I'll do that deal all day, every day. But one thing that you said that I want to kind of go back to is you talked a little bit about that you weren't doing it to build the social, that people are like, why do you need to do it now? Because the market is so good. And the thing about it is it's literally like pressing the gas as you're going downhill. Like, do you realize how much lead we are building because we are literally pressing the gas to the floor, and everybody else is like coasting because the market's great. I don't need to do anything. So I'm just going to coast. I'm going to sell. I don't need to put my foot on the gas. I don't need to create any content. I don't need to worry about my clients because the business is coming in and I'm doing great. You and I, we are so far, the gap that we are building between us and everybody else is so big. It's insane to me.
Sorry, I'm not sure if
appointments that I went on today, I would have never ever gotten those listing appointments had not. Hello. Hey,
sorry,
Justin?
I'm still here. Sorry, it may be a connection issue on my side. I'm back now, I think.
I'm still here too.
You're good. So the really cool thing about StreamYard, which is the app that we're running this on, is if my feed cuts off, it'll maintain your feed quality. So you're still good. Keep going. But you were saying the gap. You were talking about the gap. That was the last kind of portion.
And the thing about it is that like the 2 listing appointments I went on today, like those were both referrals from SOI. So not referrals from past clients, not referrals from anybody who's bought or sold from me. Those were referrals from people who just knew of me. I mean, think about that. That's huge.
Yeah. And it's funny because they're come list me and come buy me calls. Like they're calling you being like, all right, we're working together now. And you're like, who are you? Like, do you want to know what I charge? And that's not even really a conversation anymore because they know that they know you, right?
No, I mean, and the thing about it is that people don't question how much when they see the value in you. And you know what? That's the thing. Did they ask me how much was my commission rate? Absolutely. True. They didn't even balk. Yeah. They didn't even question it. They didn't even try and get me down. Why? Because they see the value that I bring to the table.
Clint Peters says, boom, such good nuggets. There are about stepping on the gas. Julie with the party hats. I think that, and I always think those are like little announcement bugles as well. So she says she's very thankful for, we'll say Glennda. I'm just here by association. It's like standing next to the sun. And Glennda, what you said about stepping on the gas, you reminded me of a podcast I did with Scott McGilvery back in January. Scott's a good buddy of mine. I don't know if you know him or not, but I need to connect you to. He's the star of HGTV's Income Property. So he's got pretty flowing hair. He's got the Cottage show now too. But he talked about when COVID happened and everybody stopped, he went full force. And when people were looking at markets that they were super tentative about, he started buying. He's like, there's never been a better opportunity. In my opinion, we're in the same place right now where on the media side, I'm doubling and tripling down because I see what effects it's had short term. And I know what effects it's going to have long term. And if I'm going to ask you what you're excited about in the future, I'm going to tell you what you're excited about in the future. It's GlendaTube. It's you going on YouTube and taking what you've done on TikTok and compounding that times 10 million, because I think people don't understand TikTok actually has a pretty cool evergreen algorithm that something can pop 6 months down the road. YouTube is that on steroids and it's owned by Google. So let's talk about that evergreen algorithm, going back to the tactical side and digging deep instead of the surface level questions. You have stuff that's popped well after you posted it. Like you may have posted and be like, oh no, it didn't really go. And then come back to it after and it went crazy. What's that experience been like?
Well, okay, so let's talk about that big video, the $137,000 paycheck.
Let's do it.
So that was a video that went very viral. It got 4 million views within like 4 days. That video now has over almost 8.5 million views. So like in the last week, it's gotten 200,000 views. So that's insane to me. It was posted the first time, or the only time it was posted was May 14th. So who's going back through TikTok to May 14th? Nobody, but it's been shared 53,000 times. So it's out there floating around, and I love that. So we are absolutely focused on YouTube. YouTube is my Q4 focus for 2021. We are kind of now like A/B testing, what can we kind of tweak so that when we get super intentional with it, that it is, running like that YouTube. Running like TikTok. But about it is that I don't know YouTube well enough, but it's so funny that you're bringing this up because I was on my $1 million mastermind last night and all they were talking about was YouTube and how the money and the exposure there is so much greater than anything you can imagine on TikTok or Instagram. So trust me, we are not leaving it behind.
I need to sit down with your team as well, and I'll just dump into your heads everything I've learned. I've been taking a mastermind for the last 6 months and slowly kind of going down that route, and I've just thrown jet fuel on it. You can blow by some creators that I know that have done significant things, and I have a couple inspiration channels I'll share with you because people don't realize this, right? YouTube monetization, what most people look for, that's not the actual end game, right? Monetization is okay, but running ads against your YouTube videos, you're never going to make a significant impact that way. It's the audience in the community. You've built a community on TikTok. That same community, when you live stream on YouTube, it is literally next level. Some of the things that can happen on that platform. I think my connection got a little wonky again too. So I'm going to give it a second, see if you're still there and see if you heard anything I said.
I did. I heard what you said. You went out for just 1 second, but
awesome.
I got it.
Awesome. Yeah. So again, that's there. And I do think that's the next iteration. It really is going to be the next level for you. But one key. So I do want to transition back into real estate for a minute because we did get a question from Shawnee that I promised her I would ask. Let's transition slowly back into that by saying, how do you do it though? Like, how can you possibly keep up with the social aspect of it and do business? Because you're not shooting and editing and doing everything yourself. Just give us a small snapshot of how you think people can practically do that.
So you got to remember you're a real estate agent. You make money helping people buy and sell real estate. Don't forget that. And I think that you need to engage people that can help you make the most of your time. For me to shoot and edit video, that's not my wheelhouse. And to pretend like it is or to brush up on it and make it takes away money from other places where I'm really strong. So for me, it makes sense to have somebody and engage somebody on my team to do that. Where I will tell you I am really struggling is with all of the messages and all of the comments coming in. So I am right now putting somebody in place to literally just be with me constantly and do nothing but read DMs, read comments, and then literally respond back as I speak. So, that for me, it's just really important to delegate, to understand where your time is spent the best, and, hire people and surround yourself with who can help you get to your dream. Justin, I can't hear you.
My mic was muted. How great am I with technology? No, I was saying you can't afford not to a certain extent, right? People are always scared about spending money, but if you can put $1 in the meter and get $2 out every time and, save your time, allowing you to, again, level up and do things at a higher level, that's key. Another key that you pointed out was hiring somebody, but making sure that it's still your voice, right? I think it's super important to protect that. People get fancy on social thinking, well, I can't possibly answer all my messages, but Gary Vee does it. Sirhan does it. Like, how do these guys do it? And you're going through a growth journey, figuring that out. So kudos to you. I'm going to go back up to Sean. Actually, I got Levi that said big money on YouTube. You should connect with Levi. He's a good dude as well.
Yeah, I've heard him in a few rooms, and I'm so curious about his journey and how he is leveraging, because that guy talks the talk. I love it.
Levi, DM, Glenda, you guys connect. You're both solid. I bring him into as many rooms as I can because I connected with him a while back. And we share some YouTube friends as well. And we have these YouTube rooms that we do. I'll ping you into those. Shawnee Dixon. I know you know Shawnee. She would love to know Glenda's top 3 areas of value that she gives prospective sellers when marketing. Back to the real estate talk. Well, let's go.
Okay. So Shawnee, I will tell you, today's real estate agent gets paid for 3 things. And that is the ability to not only consume data, but interpret it on behalf of their client. Number 1, that's the most important thing. Number 2, the ability to negotiate for your client. So negotiating the terms of the contract, to me, that's the second most important thing. And the third most important thing is the ability to mitigate risk for your client. If you can do those 3 things, I think that that is where all of the value in the real estate agent is today. Anybody can put a sign. Anybody can put a lockbox. Anybody can put it on the MLS. Anybody can put it online. And anybody can take professional photography. But the 3 things that I said, if you can hone your skills and be a sharpshooter on those 3 things, your value as a real estate agent will never be questioned.
Oh, third-party apps are quaking in their boots because that was a great question, said Julie Mosena. And it definitely was. I've actually, as you're doing that, I wrote down the timestamp because my assistant is going to clip that, turn it into a piece of micro content. And I think I'm going to write those 3 things in my journal over and over and over. So I want to be super, super respectful of your time. I know we could go on for hours, but you're a busy agent. You got things to do and you got mountains to climb. I want to give you my platform to ask my audience a question. I want them to respond in the comments. I'm sure you'll get some DMs. I'll get some DMs as well. What do you want to know? Because I know good content creators are always asking their audience questions and they're always curious. And I know you're a naturally curious person. So what would you ask all of the people that are going to see this in the future?
The majority of your audience is agents, correct?
Agents, entrepreneurs. We've got all kinds of different people that watch your channels. But yeah, I'd say you kind of know who our audience is.
Okay. So my question would be, what is the most important thing that you want to see from content? Like, what is it that keeps you engaged? What is it that makes you stay on that channel? When you're watching an agent on social, like, what is it? Maybe give me 3 things. And I want you to DM them into my Instagram account because I want to understand, like, what if you could have anything from me, what is it that you would take? What is it that you would want me to give you? That's what I want to know. What can I give you more of that engages you, turns you on, gets you excited, keeps you passionate about the industry? If you will give me 3 things, I would be so appreciative. And let's do like a little drawing. So every single person who sends me 3 things in my DMs, and let's think of a word, Justin. So put Justin put Justin in the DM, and then give me 3 things, and I will have Quentin. We'll do a drawing, and we will send out a gift for you. We'll pick somebody out of a hat and do that, because I really, really want to know what engages you, what keeps you coming back, what keeps you passionate about the industry that I can tell you.
So I'm going to have my guy clip that as well. So I'll roll this out again on my other platforms as well and indicate that they can DM you, drop it in your DMs, say the word Justin. If anybody has posted anything in any of the comments on LinkedIn, Facebook, or YouTube, I'll go back. I'll have my assistant pull those, send those to you guys directly. I'll answer mine right now because I would love to give you that feedback.
Yeah.
Your crazy stories, number 1. I absolutely love them. There's so many good ones and they're very authentic, and you always give that perspective of both sides, what you learned, mistakes you've made, all those fun things. I definitely think the stories are a part of it. Your expertise. If I was going to say a bucket of content you need to post, is those little things that you see in negotiations that are done incorrectly, or things that you see you did that led to the offer standing out, getting a little bit more money. Those are the gems that I keep with me and I try and deploy in my business. And then I'd love to know more about who inspires you. I've asked you this question before, and it's really the people that you look to that inspire your content, that you really think are just good human beings. Because I do think you're connecting some incredible people together. You know, I've told you for sure you're going to interview Tom Bellier on your channel one day. You know, more of that and more insights as to why they inspire you. So that's my 3 answers. Glennda, thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate it. You always make yourself so accessible to everybody. Please, everybody, go follow her handles on all the channels. You'll find her on Clubhouse on a regular basis, dropping knowledge. And I'm sure this will not be our last interview.
It will not. I hope. Justin, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I have to tell you, one of the gems of Clubhouse for me has been you. I love the way you deliver. I love the way that you give back. But I think that people don't really realize the level at which you are giving. The quality of the content is unmatched. So thank you, thank you, thank you for your contribution to me and to our industry. I am so impressed by you, and I love the opportunity to hang out. So
I appreciate it. You will meet my family. I'll bring my wife and daughter down to the ATL. We'll break bread. You're a gem. And again, it's just iron sharpens iron. I say that all the time. Like I couldn't imagine you saying what you just said to me right now. It means the world, but it just makes me want to try and give more. So appreciate you as always, and I'll catch you out there in the wild.
Sounds great. Talk to you soon.
See you, Glennda. Take care.